This might be too loud. Slightly. It should be okay. Oh, this mic's on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Bla Xit Family. We're just doing a quick sound check. Mic check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Bla Xit's in the house. I'm hoping that someone can join us and let us know if you can hear us okay and see us okay. So I'm going to advertise the show again quickly on the community page. So if you could just go into the comment section, just let me know if you can hear and see us okay, please. That would be ideal. And welcome. Welcome if you're going to join us. Hey, Mott's on 804. Thank you so much. I'm just going to put the address for the show in so you can join us on today's topic. Today's topic is going to be an interesting show. I've heard so many things in the last recent, I'd say, weeks, a lot of positive things from people who I've met who have come back and they've Bla Xit to Gambia for good, and also some that are transitioning through the process as well, like even today, and also some people that are here on holiday. Hey, so thank you, Wendy. Let me put this on the screen. Trouble with Tay Tay. Hey, my girl. Shantae White in the place to be. Everybody subscribe to Trouble with Tay Tay's show on YouTube, her channel, please. Hi, Wendy Green. Hi, Brian Easley. Hi, Candyman. How are you? Long time. Long time. Hi, Jazara in the Gambia. Thank you. Hi, greetings to you and to Lance Beeman. So I'm going to continue with the show. Let's turn the here and there. I want to continue with the show. Very interesting show we're having today. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of repatriation, and why it's a great idea to actually, Bla Xit, why it's a great idea to leave. So if you're new to the channel, I'm the Ancho Kajabi, and I'm being joined by Adrian Hatib Kajabi, and we're going to talk about some of the benefits that we have found whilst we have decided to return back to the motherland. You'll be there next month. Fantastic. And Michelle H, thank you. I hope you enjoyed your stay in England in the cold, and I hope you come to the Gambia soon. So Michelle, I hope you come to the Gambia soon, rather than staying in the cold in England. So Hazel, Eugene, Wonder Love of the World, blessings to you. Welcome, Adrian.
Yes, greetings, Bla Xit Family. It's been a long time. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah. These days I'm so busy setting up the shop. I hardly have time, but everything is all good. People come home to the sunshine. Greetings, everyone.
Okay, so I'm going to list. I wrote down. I haven't got my pad with me, but I know most of them off the top of my head. But I wrote down 10 benefits that I have practically found in coming back to Africa. And I think that some of them might, reflect with you, or you might, agree with them, or you could disagree with them. But it's up to you. So basically we have, I think the first thing is when you come home to your people, I think it changes your whole world. just being in an environment you're surrounded by people who look like you. And those same people are people that are in positions of power. Those are the same people that are, working with you. These are the same people that you're eating, sharing a meal with. These are the same people that are working within your compound. These are the same people who resonate with you on such a deep level. It's such a deep subconscious and conscious level, and these are your possibly your ancestors or links to your ancestors. So I think that's one of the biggest benefits that I derive from coming back here is I gained my confidence back. I found and remembered who I am as an African woman. Not that I didn't know, but I think when you're here, it reinforces that. And when you're here among your own and you realize what's been stolen from you by not being with your people, it's also, it can be quite devastating. But at the same time, you have the opportunity to relearn it. So it's actually quite beneficial. So I'm just going to add someone in to join us to the stream. H, talk about some of your benefits. And if you'd like to join us there, Miss Watson 804, and let us know some of the benefits that you think can be derived from coming home from black sitting back to Africa.
I think some of the benefits is you actually get a peace of mind. You actually wake up and surrounded by your own people. And also you don't feel the pressure like when you're in the West, you have to get up, rush to work, rushing about, always winter and everything is just gray, dull, cold. Here, if you want to go to the beach, you go to the beach and walk. Like for me now, I start serious exercise regime, So, and I feel free because every time I'm out there, I just walking, exercising, losing weight. I feel good about myself. And the best place to do that is Africa. You have the sun, you have the right food, and everything here. So it's like a stress-free life coming back to the motherland. So I would encourage my brothers and sisters to come on holiday, have a taste of it, look around. It doesn't have to be Gambia, it could be other parts of West Africa, but come home, come home.
Yes, I absolutely
Yeah,
agree with
absolutely.
that. I actually had an opportunity to make my first journey to the motherland in September of 2021, and I stayed for 30 days. I went to Ghana. So I will be relocating to Ghana permanently, but the Gambia was high on my list. And my husband and I will be traveling and staying in the Gambia for a while. Here soon, probably sometime this year, we'll be able to visit the Gambia. But yeah, there was absolutely nothing on earth like my visit to West Africa and just seeing billboards with people that look like me, and all the wall murals have people that look like me. It was absolutely amazing. And I feel that anyone who has an opportunity to at least visit, if not completely relocate to Africa, it will do you very good.
So just a quick question there. So obviously, we Blaxit, we've been living here for over 3 years now. And I feel it's the best decision that we could have made, to leave. What was one of the things that impacted on you that it will be a better place to live, to Blaxit to? Why would Africa be a better place to Blaxit to for you?
Yes, for me, I feel that Africa is the best place for me to Blaxit because it's a community of people that look like me, and I don't have to explain who I am. I feel like I'm not black in Africa, right? I don't have to be just black. I can just be who I am because everybody's black. And so it's coming home. We refer to Africa as the motherland because that's where all civilization began, and we've been stripped as the Africans that are throughout the diaspora, we've been stripped of knowledge of who we are and feeling as though we belong. We've been stripped from that. And when I was able to visit, it just really gave me a sense of belonging and a sense of knowing that I come from something that's far greater than my experience in the United States of America.
Wow, that's powerful. I want to say a big thank you to Travel with Tay Tay. She's given us a super chat sticker of $50. I want to say a big thank you to Travel with Tay Tay. And anyone else, if you'd like to give us a super chat sticker, we would appreciate it. It really does go towards helping us to continue with the channel. And of course, we're aiming to travel. We're aiming to travel to different African countries. So if you're out there and you'd like to sponsor us or support us, or help us to expand the reach of Bla Xit, so we can help people to Bla Xit to other countries in the continent, that would be amazing. So we would appreciate that. That is our plan this year. Because of the pandemic, we had to put those plans off. We had to shelve them, but now they're back on the table. So we'd like any support that you could give us to help us to travel, and that would mean, you know, hiring a crew, bringing a crew, and filming different parts of Africa, and also setting up repatriation packages in other parts of Africa as well, giving you opportunities for business, for commerce, to build a home, to buy a home, or to even just get rental accommodation or hotel for a holiday. So please help us if you can. If you're out there and you'd like to sponsor Bla Xit, let us know. If you'd like to sponsor our trip, if you've got a company that you'd like to be featured on our channel, then the opportunities are all here for you for 2022. So moving forward, what was that doing? I'm just going to invite everybody to join the show if they could. That'd be really good. It would be nice to have a lively debate. So the second thing that, or second reason I should say, that I found was on my list of coming to Africa was to relive some culture.
Yeah.
Culture. I mean, I didn't realize how little we knew about our own culture. So being around your people, but also being within culture, and then you realize there are many cultures all interlaid, and it's complex and intermingled, and there are so many different cultural groups, and they all have their own distinct identities, and sometimes languages, and their own foods, their own dances, their own spirituality, and so on and so forth. So what about you? What would be the second thing on your list?
Well, like you touch on the culture, you see a strong sense of family value here. You know, you really see that family love. You know, when you do visit a compound, you see everyone sit together, eat together, drink attire together. You know, and that's something that you don't see often in the West. The West make you become an individual, so you lose all that values. You know, but coming home here, you see that it's different. Everyone here, you just fit in place. You know, there's not a lot of arrogance or nothing here. People just live natural. It doesn't matter, you know, you're just natural. You don't have to be pretending. You know, and that's something good, because in the West you pretend, you become materialistic. Here they're not as materialistic. Everyone just fit in. You know, it doesn't matter. Everyone just live together. And the family value here is very strong. And that's something that you don't get in the West. That's something that's lacking in the West. So yes, people, come home and be your best. Africa waits you. We're Africans and we must come back home. Take a holiday. Explore the place for yourself. And I know you won't regret it. Come home, my people. So Travel Theater, thanks very much for your support, you know. And if anyone else out there would like to send us a super chat, please feel free, because you do help the channel. You know, thank you, Travel Theater.
So, one of the other things that I'd like to talk about, are you there, Miss Watson 804?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, how did it strike you with regard to culture? And like what I was saying, obviously, this is one of the things that hit me as what we've been deprived of. How did it affect you? And when you went to Ghana, how did it strike you when you were enveloped in this environment, in this atmosphere?
Yes. It was a feeling like no other. I felt like I was amongst people that, my aunties and uncles and cousins that I haven't met yet, right? It just felt like a big, huge, extended family. Some of the complaints that some people have are that they don't understand why locals are asking so much money, because when we come from westernized cultures, they just maybe make an assumption that you have more money available. And my perspective was very, very different. I felt like I'm there and that is my community. That is a part of where I come from. Even though I'm not living there permanently, I was able to stay for 30 days on my first visit. And if I could bring all of the US dollars that I had in a bank account with me, I would bring it. I feel like it is our responsibility to develop Africa, because Africa should be a world leader. She has been stripped of the raw resources and natural resources for thousands and thousands of years, and Africa should be a world leader. And anything that I can do and my family can do to help see that happen, that's what I strive to do. So when I was there, I just felt like that's exactly where I belong. Everyone that is hustling, selling items at the market, anything that they need to do to make a living, that's the same thing we're doing in the country that I originate from. So for me, it's just another side of who I am in a different location.
Okay, so I just got one more thing to add to the question. Now, many people who are in Africa, let's say they're whether they're in Nigeria or Ghana or Gambia or Mauritania, Guinea-Bissau, whatever, a lot of them see that the golden ticket and what everybody's waiting for is to actually leave Africa, thinking that their opportunities lay in the West and that the West is better than where they are. With your experience having obviously lived, where do you live in America, and where were you raised? And, what was your experiences that would cause you to want to go to Africa? Because some people think that we're insane leaving the West with all the opportunity and all the money to come
Right.
back to Africa. So what would your motivation be? And what were your experiences, obviously, uh, living in the US
Yeah,
that
that's
would
a great
cause you to want to leave?
question, and it's phenomenal because I'm totally baffled by the thought, and the experience of having Africans feeling like they want to come here as opposed to me going there. My husband did not understand. He said, "What do you mean you don't want to live in the US? Why would you not want to live in the US?" And I had to explain to him that my experience here, the experience as a Black person in America, is one that is, kind of directly associated with stress and struggle. You constantly have to remind yourself of who you are, because the world is not going to encourage you that you are awesome. The world is not going to encourage you that you were born not as a slave but as kings and queens in a land where everybody desires those natural resources from that land. And so my experience growing up in the United States, my younger years, I grew up in the North. So we it's not that we didn't have racism, it just looked a little different. So it was packaged a little differently than how you see or experience certain things in the South. currently in my adult years, I'm living in the South. I'm living in Tampa, Florida, and people don't hold their tongues, you know. So if they like you, they like you, and if they don't, you know, you'll notice it. And just experiencing life as an African American, it can be overwhelming. Whereas in Ghana, when I move there, I have an opportunity to make a living and to make something for myself without having to stress as to whether or not I'm being held back because I'm Black in a country that doesn't respect or value my input.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. And I think that some of the common factors that exist in both the UK and the US is the constant underbelly of racism, the
Yeah,
constant opportunities that always have a glass ceiling, um, the constant feeling of being a second class citizen and being treated like one. I
absolutely.
think also the amount of times you're exploited in the West is just too much. So especially in the UK, so many taxes. They tax you for watching a TV. They tax you when you're walking on the road. They tax you for driving on the street, you know, through congestion
Yeah,
charge. You know, everything is like any which way to get money out of you. And this is what stops you from being able to leave also.
right. Yeah, absolutely. You know, the difficulty is, and I try to explain to people who do ask that question, why would you choose Africa over where you currently are, whether it be the UK or US or wherever you are, Jamaica. And I try to explain to them that yes, in terms of the dollar value, the equivalency of the US dollar is approximately 1 to 6 in Ghana. However, you have to look at the cost of living, and everything is taxed, as you stated. Everything is so expensive. With $20,000, I can go and buy some land and build a house in Ghana. But with $20,000 here, that's maybe a deposit on a house, possibly, but that's not going to get me
Yeah,
anywhere, you know. So the simple fact of the matter, I've spent the majority of my life in higher education, receiving higher education, and you know I have a master's degree, and I'm working really really hard, but that really doesn't travel with me to Africa, because we value something a little bit different. Right here, you have to continue to spin your wheels. You have to pay more money to get more education, to go further, just so that you might make a few more dollars on your paycheck. But you're not living. You're just working until you're of age to retire, and then what do you have after that? Whereas if I'm working
nothing.
right now, saving money, building in Africa, I can have something of value far before time is time for me to retire.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, for example, you can buy a piece of land here, right? Like 1.5K from the sea. You
Yeah,
can buy that land for 160,000 dollars.
right.
You can't do that in the West.
Right.
You understand? You just can't do that. And then on top of that, you can go and build a nice, reasonable house. You can live off the grid. You
Yes.
know, you can have clean, fresh water from the ground. You can have your power from the sun.
Yes.
You know, you could, and you still got the same internet. You still got the same facilities, the same computer that I'm talking to you on. You know, the
Yeah,
same TV watching Netflix or what have you. You know, as everybody else has. And
absolutely.
yet you can still be here, be making the African footprint. Because, like I said, so many of us, when we retire, what do we have? They take it back because when you get sick and they want to put you in a retirement home, the very house that you work towards, the government takes it back. So you're left with nothing, no legacy, no
Yeah.
heritage. I'm sorry, there's nothing left for you to inherit. or for
Yeah.
your family to inherit, because they take it all back. And if it's not taken back in that way, it's taken back in inheritance tax.
Yes. Yep.
So, I want to big up Brian Easley, Willie Rivers, and Jacqueline Sutherland. Jacqueline Sutherland said, and big yourself up, Jacqueline, we love you. Loving the discussion today. These are very reasons that I'm leaving. Counting down the days, 55 days until I Brexit. So well done to you. Yeah. I want to say a big thank you also to Annette. Gonna put your super chat here to Annette Forbes for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Antoinette.
So, like I was saying, thank you for the support, everybody. Yeah, even if it's $1.50, everything helps.
Yes.
Because the projects that we're doing out here also are helping local people. Just like what you said, we put our money where our mouth is when we came here. And, some people didn't like it. But, at the end of the day, you can't please all the people all of the time. But when you come and you help put corrugate on people's roofs, when their roofs have been taken off by a windstorm, they appreciate it. When there's been a national disaster and there's no rice and you provide 32 bags of rice, they appreciate it. When you go to a village that doesn't have any fresh running water for the whole village and you put a borehole in there, they appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you go and you bring black books to schools, they appreciate it. When you give donation to fix the mosque or to fix the school or to fix the hospital, they appreciate it. And also to help build roads, they appreciate it. When you're giving free promotion to businesses that wouldn't ordinarily have had that exposure, they appreciate it. When you go out of your way to try and change things so that when we come back to Africa, we are welcomed with open arms as citizens, right? That is something that I am never going to stop pushing for. And if that means I have to sit down with every president, I will do so.
Yeah. And I've been following your journey since you started the channel, and very appreciative of everything that you all are doing there. I have to admit that that's one of the main reasons why the Gambia was so high on my list of countries. I did some research, what I call research at least, and I, looked at several different African countries that I wanted to visit first, and Gambia was very, very high on the list. However, I ended up going to Ghana for my first visit, but you all are truly making an impact in the communities there in the Gambia, and it is very much appreciated. Even though I'm not there, I can tell you that I see the hard work that you all are doing. I see the impact that you're making around that country, and it is much appreciated. I also see the hard work that you're putting in to make a difference for those of us that are returning. I know that it's still an uphill battle, but I appreciate all of the hard work to try to get a little bit of, recognition for those Africans that are returning to the Gambia, and to give citizenship, or, to acknowledge that we are returning home. We're not foreigners. We're actually a part of the community, and we're here to stay. So I just want to let you know that I see that, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And like I said, I see Africa as a mansion of many rooms. Just choose one. We plan to travel around, and go to see other countries. That's high on my bucket list, especially like it's a personal goal of mine, I'll say, is to go to at least try and to do 5 countries this year. I mean, we have a child, so we might be doing it as individuals, but it means that we can get more coverage that way. And I think it's important. It's really, really important that we can share our stories. So I will be putting out some back footage as well of when we went to Sierra Leone, and I'm still looking for the footage of Senegal. But we will be going to revisit some of those locations and some of those places. And it's important that we do so because we want to encourage you and we want to show you the side of Africa that people don't want you to see. Because they don't want you to see us in the shopping mall or going to the opticians or going to the hospital or going to the dentist and realize it's exactly the same as what it is wherever you are. They just don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that you can drive the same car here. You can, have a great social life here. You can have a great life here. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that it's actually more affordable and you have a better lifestyle here, better weather. That is the other thing on my bucket list, is the environment, the sun, the sea, the sand, the beautiful greenery, the lush roads, the peace, the tranquility, the enjoyment. That is another thing that impacted on me, and that was on my list at number 3, was the actual environment that you live in, and the sun. Oh, the sun, and just being able to sit on a beach if you want to. So that is third on my list. And also number 4 was the impact on your psyche, your mental health and well-being. It helps your mental health and well-being in order to Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Tyrone, please do give us an email at info@blaxithome.com. Yeah, I need to give you your discount code. So you need to come back to me because I need to process that. So I need to give you your discount code. So please email me as soon as possible at info@blaxithome.com. info@blaxithome.com. I need to give you your discount code, Tyrone. Yeah, Tyrone Brown. If you can hear me, please email me now and I will email you your discount code. We've generated them now, so I need to give it to you so that you get that qualification. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry about that. I had to throw a little wobbly there just to answer one of the comments. Lamin Toure, also would like to say big yourself up. Yeah, thank you so much. So, like I was saying, that's one of the things was the environment. What's on your bucket list, number 3 and number 4?
Well, I think traveling around to different African countries is definitely on the list as well, And as we have a child, so we could do that individually. I might cover one country, Juliet cover another country. So maybe as time goes on, it all depends. But yeah, I think that, and plus we want to undergo some more projects, local projects here. Some more local development like wells, lighting to different villages, and I think there are going to be great stuff happening in 2022 and onwards. So, but as you know, we can't do it alone. We need support. We need other people to come on board and support us so that we could have it done. So yeah, those are some of the things on my list this year. And also to encourage you to come home. And majority of you, as you know, TAF is building a city that will accommodate 5,000 houses. So you all come and be a part of that.
Yeah.
I remember to send Bla Xit an email.
You get your 2% discount
and you get your 2%
on top.
Discount on top.
But you have to email us. You have to make sure
you email Bla Xit first.
So we can. You have to email us first so that we can generate the code
and do the recommendation.
So we can do the recommendation, and so that you can get that 2% on top. It's a lot of money to lose. So please do not lose the opportunity to get in on TAF City. It's very, very important. So the 5th thing on my list that I want to talk about was being here, was language. And it opened my eyes when I found people speaking 4 and 5 different languages.
Yeah.
And I was only barely able to scrape through properly, with maybe some odd bits and pieces of other languages, but I'm not fluent in any other language, I would say, to the same ability that I am in English. So seeing that floored me. I was watching children as young as 3 and 4 speaking and turning into different languages while we were, while we've been miseducated, undereducated.
Yes.
And this is so sad, because when you see children speaking Fulani, speaking Wolof, speaking Mandinka, and then speaking to you in English, that's 4 languages, and that's a child.
Yeah.
you know, what's happened to us. What do you think, Miss Watson?
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I felt the same way. When I was preparing to travel, I tried to learn a little bit of Wolof, and I just was feeling a bit overwhelmed because, in my middle age, trying to learn a new language, it was just very difficult. And I see the young people, they know 5 and 6 different languages. And, as you stated, we're undereducated, and miseducated in so many ways. If we had been educated on the resources and the greatness of Africa, we could have started learning additional languages when we were younger. Different languages other than just French and Spanish. Those are some of the popular languages that were offered in school as I was growing up. So I have the Spanish. I took a little bit of French, but I really wish that I had known before college. In college, I started to study Kiswahili, but I wish that I had known earlier on that there are so many other languages that are spoken around the world that I actually could learn and engage in. So right now, since I married a Ghanaian, I'm learning Tree. And it's just amazing. You really I feel that you learn more when you're engulfed in the culture, and you're
Mhm.
hearing people speak, and you're participating at the market and communicating with other people, greeting people in the neighborhood, greeting your neighbors in the morning and those kinds of things. But yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal that people that look just like me know 10 languages, and I'm stuck with my one or two.
I hear you. I hear you. In fact, it's quite embarrassing as well, especially when you're struggling to be fluent. And I think that, when you do come here, and I'll say in your later years, I think that it is a bit challenging to pick up and to restart all
Yeah.
over again. And I think this is one of the things that the governments need to take um, into consideration, when they're looking at the hoops they want you to jump through for
Yeah,
citizenship. They have to take
absolutely.
your personal situation into account. And also, when you're here and you're trying to build, or you're trying to do other things, you haven't got time to sit down in a continuous language class. And many of the governments of the countries that we're going back to aren't providing an infrastructure that would include a serious course for us to integrate properly. They haven't actually devised one. So
Yeah.
it's also challenging in that sense that there needs to be a proper provision put into place that will enable us to facilitate that, because it is challenging. And when you move to a new country, it's also challenging to try to learn a new language. But as time goes on, it does become natural to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, because you become so engrossed in the environment. But at the
Yeah.
same time, people talk to you in English too. So sometimes it does become a bit challenging. So
Right.
that is one of the things that hit me. That was like number 5. What about you?
Yeah, the language barrier as well is something that we have to learn, you know. Yeah, yeah, the language barrier, and more we have to learn about the culture a little bit more as well, how to do things. So yeah, I think it's important to learn the language. Yeah.
Another thing that hit me, also I'd say number 6, was the ease of living.
Sometimes this is
Yes, sure. Was the ease of living here. Ultimately, being able to slip into another culture,
Mm-hmm.
slip into another environment, slip in with your new family,
Mm-hmm.
and it is so easy.
Yeah.
It is so easy. You
Yes.
know, because when you're in England, and or you're in America, I guess because of the things that we've seen on television, we've been preconditioned. We've been mentally preconditioned
Yes.
and programmed. We've been pre-programmed about Africa. And
Yep.
so we have these thoughts, that are planted there subliminally through, aid for Africa, water for Africa, starving children across Africa,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
and
disgusting.
death, famine, and disease, or
Right.
war. Those are the and we actually had a program where we demonstrated this. We actually demonstrated the defamation of Africa. And we did it, I was doing the experiment while we were actually alive. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to also follow up on the last program about the damage that has been caused to us. And I was going to play a Dr. DeGroy video. But because this week's show is quite a short one, I wouldn't have enough time. I'm only here for an hour today. We're only here for an hour. So there's only 20 minutes left. And her video is quite lengthy. So maybe what we might do is edit it and then put out the key points so that we can do it. But the trauma is also something that hit me, which is number 6. That the trauma that we face is very similar to the trauma that's been left here, because the lack of development in some aspects of infrastructure, the lack of opportunities to some communities. The legacy of colonialism is real and alive, and you can see it here. So that's another thing that hit me, was the legacy of colonialism, especially seeing some of the old colonial buildings in certain areas, road names, the same colonial kind of, I would say, images. And when I say that, we went to the inauguration recently of the president, and we saw, them in their white wigs, and it reminded me so much. It reminded me so much of old colonial England,
Right.
and so I think that that also hit me, was the damage, the deep-seated damage that's been caused, where it's like we're unable to change things ourselves, or to adopt an African way of doing things. We're still stuck in the colonial times, in a sense that no one's actually broken away from the program. We're still very much in it. We're still very much subject to the colonials and their controls. So I think that also hit me, was the deep impact that colonialism and the enslavement of our ancestors has left. And I admit that there's also really positive aspects, because here you also get to learn about other heroes and heroines, and you get to learn about a history before slavery. So that also gives you a lot of, self-pride, self-love, and empowerment, knowing about your history. So in that sense, that really hit me, was both the side of the colonialism and the ongoing legacy of colonialism, and then also understanding that we got hit when we got put to the West, and our parents were sent to America or the Caribbean or wherever they were sent to, and they were coming home, to realize that the people that were left behind also got hit. And they were hit by colonialism here until 1965. You see, that is when they became independent, in 1965. So we've all been hit. So that's another thing that hit me. What about you?
Well, I have to go back to when we went to that trip to Kunta Kinte Island. When you see the devastation, when you see the suffering that our ancestors went through, and we're finally here, we are the survivors that actually make it back from such a bad journey. It's not easy. When you look at how colonialism damaged Africa from those days, you're talking about over 500 years, and you still see the remnants of it here. And what was quite shocking is that when you look at the island of Jaffa, the island is actually sinking, and I think we need to preserve it because they hold a lot of our history. You know, we need to really preserve that for the respect of our ancestors that been through that rough times. You know, and it's not easy. So I just feel that the West owe Africa a great deal. They owe Africa a great deal. But instead of they try and pay up some of their reparations, they're still coming to loot, pollute, and destroy the minds of our African people. You know? So
Yeah.
we as African people, we have to stand up. Both us that born from the enslaved have to come together and join our brothers and sisters here in Africa and stand up. Because I think they should not go unnoticed. The West should pay for this. You know, the
Absolutely.
West should have a hands on the development of Africa. Because they're part of the problem. And
Absolutely.
still a part of the problem. You know, because their hands is still playing in Africa, but not to the benefit of African people, but for their own benefit, you know? So as I
Hmm.
say, it's for us to really come together and start heal our trauma. And the only how we could do this is start uniting, start see ourselves as one big family, and start uniting again. And, you know, just be proud, be a proud African,
Yeah,
be proud.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when I was growing up, I was able to watch the TV series Roots, you know, the movie Roots, and they showed it as a TV series, but um and I never knew as a child that Kunta Kinte was from the Gambia, right? So I didn't learn that until I started watching your channel, and I was like, oh my goodness, again, middle age, just learning this part of my own history, things that were so important to me. And, it's very sad to recognize and understand that colonialism, while they may no longer be in charge of the African country, they still have their hands in the pocket. And there are so many influences and aspects of colonialism that we need to continue to fight against today. I love it when I see African leaders tell other countries that they're no longer going to play this game with them. They're no longer going to give them the very best of their African country, because this has been going on for far too long, and it's absolutely time that we take a stand. It's absolutely time that we know our rightful place and that we strive towards better. As you stated, yeah, I believe that these Western countries need to contribute financially to the reparation of what they have broken. They need to repair what they have broken. So if they're not willing to give, a reparations payout directly to us as descendants, then they need to make a recompense for the damage that they have done to the African countries. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Reparations is a must. Reparations is a must. And I've been to Bunce Island in Sierra Leone. I've been to I went to Port Royal in Jamaica also, and also here, we went to Kunta Kinte Island, and it does devastate you. It really does. It really messes you up when you actually see the way in which your ancestors were treated,
Yeah.
and it's something that there has to be a repay. It has to be repaid. Like James Brown said, I mean, it's time for the payback. You
Yep.
understand? It's time for the payback. And we as a community, we as a people, I'm sure that we can find a way to do that. Yeah, we just need to work together, in order to come together. And that's one of the things that they've destroyed, is our ability to unify. But because they
Yeah.
destroyed it doesn't mean it has to stay and remain destroyed. We have a choice in all this, rather than tearing each other apart, tearing each other down, killing each other, stealing from each other, robbing each other, lying to each other, deceiving each other, and trying to defame and destroy each other. Why can't we change that? Why
Yes.
can't we change that? We can change the narrative. We can change our own personal narratives. by starting with ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because once the family gets ripped apart, everything gets ripped apart, and then you have to start all over again. And so that's what happens a lot with us, and we have to keep starting over and over and over again. And I know from personal experience how hard and how painful that is, but you still have to go through the processes in order to change your destiny. And so it's important moving forward that you also embrace change, because sometimes if a situation is not serving you well, you don't have to stay in it.
Right.
So, if it's not serving you well living in the UK, you don't have to stay in it. If it's not serving you well living in the US, you don't have to stay in it. It's like an unhealthy relationship. You don't have to stay in it. You can move on. Yeah. And it's important that we realize that sometimes to repair yourself, you have to move on. And so, I think Africa next for me is a place of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Is a place of healing. I think that's what it's done for me, is that it's, I'm not fully healed, I'm partially healed. And I don't think you're ever fully healed, because the damage is intergenerational. It's in your DNA, it's in your psyche, it's in your everyday experience, and you're still surrounded by things that have been deprived of you, things that have been ripped from you, things that have been taken from you without your will. So you already know about, the damage of the violence that caused you to be where you are today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so I think Africa is a place of healing. Most definitely. It's definitely a place of healing. And there's something very spiritual about Africa that reignites, your soul, your very spirit. So I think, that's really really important that we add that onto the list, the healing. I think that's number 7. So I've only got 3 more left, and we've got 9 minutes. So I'm going to speed up. I'm on number 7. You give number 8 then.
Well, I mean, you done talk about the healing. And I think, that's an important aspect as well for us to give ourselves a chance to heal, to get to a better point, a better place in our lives. And it is so important to navigate and see, what your destiny holds. I think we as a people, we're being through a lot. We're being through a lot. And there's a lot of repairing need to be done. And sometimes it takes a village sometimes to come together to make some of the repairs that need to be done. It takes people to come together and work together to make sure that the repair is being done. Because sometimes you try to do it on your own, but you're just not strong enough to do it on your own. And that's why I also like the fact that you can have a village life, where the village, everyone come, the council of elders come together, sit down, we work together. If we have issues, we work them out and we move forward. Because sometimes pain, if you feel pain, there's a remedy of healing it, and healing, anything you feel will be able to heal. But sometimes the process, if you don't understand the process, you're going to always be self-destructing. So as I say, sometimes we need to really come together as a people and look at how we're going to work together, how we're going to save each other, Because you sometimes have situations that's bad, but sometimes bad because of miseducation. Sometimes bad because you don't want to move to another level. Sometimes bad because you don't want to learn something new, But I always believe in fighting for what you want. I always believe in making sure that you have the support, the moral support. Because a lot of things that we feel can heal, but we need to put some time and some work into it. And we could do this here in the motherland, and this is why each one have each other back. And that's important, where everybody have everybody back. I mean, some situations you may never heal, but you might provide a space for someone else. I think you all understand what I'm trying to say. But we have to work together. We have to look at some of the ills within our communities. We have to look at some of the triggers that cause in our community to be going down a road that it shouldn't be going down. We have to look at that, and together we as a people should be able to heal each other. Because here in Africa, you got more time on your hand. It's not like the West. Here you got more time where you could sit down, reflect on your life, reflect on where you should be, you know, and start the healing process. So yeah, that's my take on that one.
Okay, so as you can see, please everyone go and subscribe to Perspective. Perspective is the channel with the aerial view, and also they are supporters of Bla Xit. So please do go and subscribe to the new Perspective channel. They do help Bla Xit by helping to provide our production values and our drone photography and drone videoing and footage also, and of course editorial support and SKJ Productions also. So I want to say a big thank you to them, and also of course Yuba, our very own Seth, and of course Adrian. So we've only got 5 minutes left in the show. So if you'd like to get in contact with us, this is our email address. You can contact us via that email address. We generally try to answer emails within 3 to 4 days maximum, especially if we're filming. So if we're not filming and we are in the office, then we do tend to answer them sooner than that. So yeah, I just want to say, like, number 8 and number 9 and number 10 in quick succession, because we've only got 4 minutes left on today's show. So my number 8 is it's great for the children. It's great for your children. It is amazing for your children to have that sense of freedom, the sense of self-esteem, the sense of pride, the sense of enjoyment, and just being able to be a child again.
Like me.
Like you. Come and say hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
So yeah, it's great for the children in that sense. And I also think that in finding love, a lot of people find love here on the continent also. So a lot of the single ladies and single men, they come here and they find their ideal partners. Because sometimes in the West we have slim pickings because of, you know, the conditioning that we've all been through. And, you know, it means that there's less available partners sometimes. So some people also find love here. So number 9 for me on my list is, I think, peace, inner peace. I mentioned about mental health before, but the inner peace I'm talking about is waking up without having anxiety, waking up without feeling fearful of looking over your shoulder, waking up without racism, waking up without discrimination, waking up knowing that you are in control of your destiny and that no one else really is in control of your destiny. That is priceless.
Yes.
Absolutely priceless.
Yes.
And I can tell you that alone has changed my life. That alone has changed my life. And I think 59 has to be about being altruistic and entrepreneurial, meaning that helping others. You get more of a sense of community here. And I think that sense of community is something that is just absolutely life-changing experience, because you lose the individualistic mindset. You realize, you know, if you're in a village, whatever's going on in the village is also including you. It's not like being in the UK. It's a very, very different experience. And so I think that's really important that we're able to do that. I want to say hello to Queen K before we close. So where am I? Number 9, I think.
Number 10 now.
Am I number 10?
Number 10,
brilliant.
yeah.
So number 10 has to be the all-round package of feeling free.
Yeah.
Just being free. Just being free. I can't describe to you what freedom is in a one word, but I would say it's having the ability to not feel defined, refined, oppressed, suppressed, oppressed.
Yeah.
is I don't know, but how would you describe it? Like the number 10 has to be my freedom. I couldn't give it up again. It's like leaving a prison and then, coming out, I think, from under the sentence.
Yes, absolutely. I just feel that, there's nothing that compares to your individual freedom. And I don't think that there are some people who will understand it unless and until they actually visit. When you visit, that's when you get a full sense of that freedom and you have a full understanding of it. That's my opinion. So I encourage everybody to visit.
Well, the Buffalo Soldieress, I just want to big you up. Sigwitio, just want to big you up. Tyrone Brown, want to big you up. Black Empowerment 01, want to big you up. G Benz, want to big you up. Queen K, anyone who else I've missed. And of course, Trouble with Tay Tay and Gina, Bijou Noir's usually on here. Please remember to subscribe to Trouble with Tay Tay and watch her channel, and also Bijou Noir. So it's been a great show. Just want to say thank you to you all for joining us. Thank you for supporting Bla Xit. We do know that, last year was a very, let's say, interesting year and a challenging one also. And 2022, let's turn this year into a great year with all the twos. Yeah. And so please, keep watching. Please keep subscribing. And please remember to smash that like button so it helps us with our algorithms. As you know, many channels which are dealing with repatriation. Just want to say a big thank you to Antoinette Forbes for the second support. Thank you, everybody that is supporting Bla Xit. We so appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. And Antoinette Forbes, we love you. Thank you so much for your kind donation and support to our channel. Like I said, we want to travel. We want to show you more of Africa. And of course, every vlogger has their own perspective and their own view and take on things. So we want to show you things from our perspective, from our view. And so, anyone that would like to sponsor Bla Xit or to support or to help us in our endeavors to show you more of the motherland, we would appreciate. We want to go to Rwanda. We want to go to Mozambique. We would like to go to Zambia, South Africa. We'd like to go to Nigeria, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, and many, many more places. So, if you'd like us to show you and to give you that view of Africa that you haven't seen before, please get in contact with us via info at Bla Xit Home if you'd like to support us. So just going to say thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. The 10 bucket list of why and the benefits of repatriation. The number one thing on the list for us is rejoining our family here, feeling free, being able to live off the grid, enjoy a new culture, enjoy a new life, and most importantly, feel African again. That's really crucial. So Bla Xit family, we love you, and we'll see you again next week. And thanks
also
for
thank
us.
you for all you do, Nancho. You do a lot for Bla Xit as well. So thank you for all you do as well.
Thank you,
and
likewise.
And to the rest of the team. We all work together hard to try and bring you, these videos and different areas that will help you in your repatriation packages. So thanks again.
Thank you, no worries. And don't forget, there are a few plots of land left for 50,000 Dalasi in Bussorah, and there are only a few plots of land left in Gunjur, and there are only a few plots of land left in Sanyang. That's Sanyang, the ones that aren't too far from the sea. Gunjur, not too far from the sea. And of course, beautiful eco village Bussorah. So please get in contact with us, and of course by the river in Khartoum. So please get in contact with us if you are interested in repatriating. Please get in contact with us if you want our support in that repatriation package. And if you would like to go and live in a brand new smart city, which is going to be twice the size of Banjul with 5,000 homes in it. And I've got a special broadcast for you, and I don't want to spoil it, but just keep watching the channel. We've got some great footage coming up for you. And there's one spoiler I'm going to give you which is that I watched nearly 30 houses being built in Taft City. So there you have it. So if you've already bought there, please remember, if you haven't got your Blaxit discount, contact us as a matter of urgency and info@blaxithome.com to get your additional 2% discount by being a Blaxit subscriber. So please do not go direct, come through Blaxit and get your discount so that no one can say you can't have it. All right, we love you, Blaxit family. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I want to say thank you to our special guest who's been on the channel today, and that's Watson 804. Thank you for your contributions. You've been amazing. Thank you so much, sis. And I hope you can join us in the next show.
Thank you. Keep on doing everything you're doing. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I certainly will. Thank you so much.
All right. You're
Take
welcome.
care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.